right, it is 6:30. We'll call the meeting to order, and I would ask everybody to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So now we will move into the approval of the agenda for Monday, April 28th, 2025.
Motion to approve is presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Pennell and a second by Commissioner Gurley to approve the minutes as written. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, ayes have it. So now we are moving to agenda item number 4, the approval of minutes dated March 24th, 2025. Is there any edits or comments we'd like to make on the previous minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as printed for March 24th, 2025.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Turchi to approve the minutes
Second.
and a second by Gurley. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, ayes have it. All right, now we're moving to item number 5, which is public comment on agenda items. So if anybody out there wants to speak on anything coming up, now's your chance to do that in advance. Okay. Number 6, unfinished business. There's none on here I'm aware of. Okay, then we will move into number 7, new business. We'll start with A, the site plan review of parcel ID 1906134000017, Sterling Sanitation Inc., 37625 29 Mile Road. So if you're here, you can step up to the podium. Please state your name and your address.
My name is Tim Greiser.
Yeah, hit the button. There you go.
Tim Greiser, 1913328 Mile Road, Lake Township.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to point out or go over before we start asking questions?
Nope, just as long as everything looks and is the way you want it to be. Hopefully it is.
Okay, do we have any comments from commissioners?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I may, the review that you received from me mentioned the need for a garbage trash receptacle
Yep.
at the site. However, the applicant has contacted me, they are a waste hauler themselves, so they were moving their trash daily to buy 3 acres, so there is no need. And so I concur that a trash receptacle is not required.
Okay, so that'll be updated on his drawing or print?
Yes.
Okay. Anything from anybody up here?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Under paving, the engineer's report here, I'm just trying to, it says under paving in the township engineer's comments, should it read 29 Mile Road instead of 26 Mile Road? They were somewhere.
Yes, that's a typo.
Okay.
Sorry for that.
Okay, and then if there is no other existing businesses, or there's not much traffic there, I mean, are they having to put in a de-acceleration and acceleration lane? There is one there already? Okay, I didn't drive past it. Okay. That's pretty much all I had, because I didn't think you needed that one.
Okay.
I looked through it and I didn't see any issues. I talked to Jeff White earlier to make sure there wasn't any issues with the fire and safety. If there's not any other questions or comments, I'd make a motion to approve the site plan for Sterling Sanitation Incorporated as presented.
Okay, so, go ahead, Commissioner Pennell.
Support.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Turchi and support seconded by Commissioner Pennell. Oh, wait, we do have something from the engineer.
Yeah, discussion on the motion, please. There was one question in our review letter about the water service. You do show sanitary service to the addition, but it looks like you have features that you be using water. How are you going to service them?
There is city water there
On the other building?
on the other building, the existing building that's here, yes.
So you're going to branch off from
Yes,
one
one
building to
branch out
the other?
back into the offices.
Okay. Just make sure that you pass by the W regarding that. Or any questions?
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yep. Okay, so we'll keep it as written, to approve the site plan as long as they meet all the requirements and comments that were discussed. So we have a motion by Commissioner Turchi, second by Commissioner Pennell. Can we get a roll call?
Turkey,
Aye.
Pinell,
Aye.
Gurley. Aye. Rossio. Aye. Sutton.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So the next one would be B, the site plan review of parcel ID 190629100014, Living Word Fellowship Church, also known as 60170 New Haven Road.
Do you start talking? Oh, there we go. Robert Diverse, here on behalf of the client, 17001 19 Mile Road. I can give a summary of what we're proposing. It's just a pole barn for a church. The plan is to have it south of the parking lot, or I should say west of the parking lot. It's just used for storage, some of their stuff that they use for the parking lot maintenance and everything. That's pretty much it that's proposed. I can answer any questions that you may have.
Okay. Anything from the planner or engineer?
I offer, it meets the ordinance, no objection.
Okay.
No objection here, Mr. Chairman. However, they did get a waiver from the board for the gravel parking area. That was granted by the Lenox Township Board.
Okay. Jeff?
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, we had commented to the board that we had no concerns about the gravel parking area. The simulation looked good for the vehicles, going up to and around the structure. We'll just make sure that we address the pre-construction, making certain the gravel's of appropriate depth to hold the weight of the trucks.
All right, perfect. Anything from the table? Commissioners? Okay, we're looking for a motion then.
Motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve as presented by Commissioner Pennell and a second by Commissioner Gurley. Can we do a roll call, please?
Pinell,
Yes.
Gurley. Aye. Rossio. Aye. Sutton.
Aye.
Turkey.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right,
I
ayes
just
have
wanted to make a comment. I was around here when the original church was built. And I wanted to let everybody know that you were very good to work with. I mean, you listened to what our concerns were, and you did an excellent job. The church looks beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now we'll move back into agenda item number 8, public comment. If anybody has anything they want to say or address regards to anything on the agenda? Okay. Communications and/or committee reports. Do we have anything today?
Thank you, board, I appreciate that, thank you.
All right, township planner. Got
Nothing
anything
new
for
to
us?
report?
Nothing this week or month. All right.
We have nothing on the master plan at this time?
Master plan, we'll have more for you next month.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, call from the table. Anybody up there have anything you'd like to discuss?
No?
All right, Mr. Russell.
Being that we were said about the master plan for next month, it's just been nagging at me. I went over and I looked at it again, and these are some more of the observations that I kind of stuck out to me. On the master plan it says the master plan has undertaken a thorough investigation of past trends, current conditions, and alternative futures for the township. How can it be thorough if it was only on the website and mentioned at the seniors during one of their activities here, is how I understand? Again, shouldn't there have been a postcard or something sent out? Only 108 people responded to this survey. At the time when I went by the numbers in the master plan, the preview, there was 4,822 persons living in the township that were 20 years or older. And if only 108 filled out the survey, that's only like 2% of the population 20 or older. A postage stamp for a postcard is like 56 cents or less if you do it in bulk. And I just went on a random website, and it was about 75 cents to have a postcard printed up 4x6 because it wouldn't have to have a ton of information on it. So with how many households there are, in 2022 there was 1,826 housing units in the township, and I don't know how many businesses the township has. I don't know, I'm going to say 200. So roughly it would cost about, and this is just an estimate, $2,000 to mail out a postcard to each household and to each business in the township to have them fill out this survey. We spend $1,200 a year to light a Christmas tree. We spent $15,000 for a 15 to 20 minute drone show on the 4th of July. And I'm not disparaging these items, but money can be spent on these items. But we keep hearing about how important this master plan is. And on page 8 of the master plan, it says community input is the core of any planning effort. Well, if only 2% of the community answered this survey, how is this the community input that's supposed to be the core of it? Also, Pine Tree Acres is the largest, I would say, I don't know if somebody can disagree with me, influence on this township. It covers the largest land mass, if I'm not mistaken, and it's not mentioned once in the master plan. It's kind of like the elephant in the room, so to speak, of the township, especially because of its size. And will it expand? Will it get taller? You know, then in the survey of 108 people that filled out the survey, there was 30 comments where people could write in comments. So that means that's 28% of the people. So somewhere between, a quarter to a third of the citizens that took the time to fill out the survey, even knew about the survey, commented either about an odor, light, the dump, or Pine Tree Acres by name. But yet again, this is not brought up at all in this master plan. And I guess, I'm not sure why it isn't, because it has a huge influence on what can be developed in this township. So I guess I'm addressing it to Mr. Casson, and I'm addressing it to the supervisor's office. If you have a comment or an opinion on what I just remarked on.
I can indicate on Pine Tree Acres that the plan hasn't been developed yet on their future land use use of the goals and objectives and the implementation, but that will be addressed by 3 acres. You don't even have a third of the plan in front of you.
Okay, I mean, I didn't know. That's why I just
It will
wasn't
be
sure.
addressed, definitely.
Okay, like I said, I just went
Yeah.
over what I had in
No,
front of
it's
me.
a great point.
And it wasn't mentioned at all.
Yeah.
So, or any comments that were negative to the township, or where the township, these 108 people thought there could have been, improvements or things looked into. But it's just, Pine Tree Acres kind of stuck out besides the bumpy roads, but that's more of a county issue too, I understand. And I know Pine Tree Acres is a state issue, but it's still, it's a huge influence.
It will be addressed.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure.
I can tell you from the supervisor's office that this was also opened up on Facebook, also opened up in the Voice newspaper, requesting input and influence to be sent in. It is disheartening to see 2% of the population actually respond. But trying to go out and wrangle them in is extremely hard. But we did open that up in those avenues in addition to what was sent out on the website.
Well, can I ask, who lives in this township actually filled out the survey that's in this room?
I didn't fill it out, I didn't know about it. I did. Sorry.
Okay, but, so you work here, so you would know about it, right?
How long ago was the survey?
He said, it was roughly 2 years ago is what I was told.
Back in '23.
No, I saw it, I saw it online and responded online. I wasn't working in the office, I was just a
Okay.
trustee.
So we have one person in this room that's filled it out. So, obviously those avenues weren't successful, so maybe a postcard if we could spend, the resources on that, and we can spend resources on other things. And there's another question I have. This is my 4th time asking it, and I've never really gotten an answer. It was on the section 719.69G2 of the ordinance that was discussed last month, and it was not in the section where I had to recuse myself. It was a prior section, and I know we weren't supposed to look at that part, but I didn't realize that until after the fact. But it says in there still that the applicant shall deposit a cash performance guarantee with the township to ensure the completion of a main building. The guarantee shall be equal to the cost of completing the principal structure. Again, should it not be written as a security bond and not as a cash performance guarantee? I went on the website prior to the meeting here tonight, and it's still written that way. Because that means you'd have to put up the whole total cost of the business as cash in an account somewhere, besides pay for the business, so you're kind of having to set aside, twice the amount of money that you would be spending on building a building.
I guess I'm not real sure where you're addressing that question to.
I guess
or
I-
which section that was out of. Are you talking about just an overall performance bond?
No,
For
it
the
was
building
in-
structure, or?
It was in the structures, and it was 719.69G2, and I did not bring that with me. But it was in my email to Mr. Casson. I mentioned it twice here in person. Now this is the 3rd time. And,
That was not part of the ordinance, though, right?
no,
Yeah.
Nope, it was prior to it. The part I had to recuse myself was the letter P and afterwards, and this is in the letter G.
We probably,
It's in the accessory buildings and structures ordinance.
we'll need to have our attorney look at that.
Okay, I was just,
I can tell you the history. Typically, most communities have gotten away from surety bonds because they're non-collectible. They're
Okay.
difficult to collect on, and they're requiring either cash or letters of credit.
Okay,
And that's something we can look at.
okay,
Make
it
sure
was
that,
just an observation, and, like I said, I've asked it several times, and I've never really gotten an answer, so I thought tonight would be a good opportunity.
with permission of the supervisor's office, we can request an opinion from the attorney.
We will definitely If you forward that back over, Mr. Casson, we'll have that sent in. Ms. Rousseau, just so you know, as Mr. Casson stated, the surety bonds, the letters of credit, let's go back in 2008 when the market crashed. Greco Title in Mount Clemens was found excessively at falsified documents of those letters of credit. So it's going to be highly recommended that that is probably removed out of those wordings, because they used to pull papers out of the desk and write it and go, oh, here's your surety bond. It wasn't even worth the paper it was wrote on, as we found out. And I can tell you that for a fact from another
Was there other
community.
businesses that do that sort of work?
Today,
Mm-hmm.
good luck.
And
They
speaking
have a
of-
very hard time finding those companies. You actually have to have a bank add that to the loan process. And that's a very, very hard piece to get forwarded. But we'll send it over to the attorney to have it reviewed, because I can tell you, no bank wants to sign those letters anymore today. There was many people put away for that.
This is a discussion also that I've had with other people as well. Being you brought up 2008, 2009. Did anybody ever think that General Motors would ever go bankrupt or fail? Has anybody ever thought, if something ever happened to that dump, Pine Tree Acres, if something should ever happen, that that should have to close? Where would the township stand financially? It's just, again, another observation. I mean, General Motors is bigger than Pine Tree Acres, and that failed. And we got all our eggs in one basket pretty much here in this township. And if something should ever happen, we would really be up a creek. That's all I have.
Anything else from the table?
Motion to adjourn at 6:52?
I had one, short comment, Robert. I understand your concern about the response on the surveys, but this is a common thing. We've been through surveys for recreation. We got very, very few, and it was advertised and it was given out. It's just hard for people to get people to submit their comments. But with the master plan, we will be having meetings and hearings, and if somebody wants to comment on that, that's when they'll be doing it. And I don't think sending out postcards is a good idea. The money that is spent for the other issues that you mentioned comes from a different fund. This money would come from the general fund, and what's going to happen is people are going to get these postcards in the mail, and they're going to toss it right in the garbage or the recycling bin. It's just common knowledge, just like when it's election. By the time I get from my mailbox to my door, I've sorted them, and they go right in the bin. So I don't think you're going to get a whole lot of response.
I don't know, I know some postcards got read, so in the township, so. Yeah.
What's that?
Motion to adjourn at 6:53.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Pinal,
Second.
second by Commissioner Gurley. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all right, this meeting is adjourned.